You ever watched
He was talking about was he talking to Nicki Minaj? And it was Amber Rose.
Oh yeah, she said he was like, so what's a slut?
Who is that? Who talking about?
It's this old nigga with who had a stroke or something.
Oh, the black guy.
Oh, the skin discoloration.
Did he talk to DC Young Fly too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He was real. As soon as it started, he was like, "What's up, little lad boy?"
Yeah.
He said, "You like Jiminy Cricket."
All right, cool.
He said, "Amazing."
Yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about. I don't watch him, but I fuck with DC Young Fly. So when I seen that,
I watched that one too, and I watched Godfrey.
Yo,
that dude's crazy.
Godfrey is good.
Who's the guy again?
I don't know. Godfrey was saying some stuff that I was like, he has a good person. No, he has a good personality, but it's like he was on some simping. Like I just didn't like the way he was talking. He was wrong in everything he was saying. Like literally, everyone who called him.
Godfrey was?
Yeah, he was like, so why do you call black women queens? He's like, because they're all queens. We should worship the ground they walk on. It's like, all right, bro, relax.
Yeah,
sometimes they go too far and they start pandering.
I think it's both sides though. There's some niggas out here that are like, all right, nigga, like you desperate for some pussy, or calm the fuck down. But then there's also some niggas who've had some trauma. You can tell they fucking hurt when they be speaking. And I'm just like, there needs to be like a balance.
Balance.
You know what I mean? Like, for real, there'd be some niggas like I'd be like, all right, nigga. Like,
they go too hard.
Yeah, all women are hoes. Let me tell you why. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, no, there are people like that.
Yeah, and it's just like it's a little bit too, and so like it's hard because it's just like depending on how you feel, that's what it comes down to. Especially like, let's say you're younger, and you just got played. You listen to a nigga like that, you're like, yeah, you know what? Like this is the last, So it's just a matter of you got to find a balance of a great experience of like. And there's very few people who do it well.
I know somebody who's like that. We know somebody who's like that.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I hate relationships. I never want to see a girl again. And this guy was like a womanizer. This guy's a womanizer for the first 23 years of his life. And
I thought she was going somewhere else. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the guy who just panders to women and he's just, oh yeah, my African queen, we need to uplift them and everything that they do. And see, this is the problem. And I'm like, right.
Yeah, but see, what happens is people like that, they always end up eating themselves. They always end up like,
they bite. Yeah,
but they're the same nigga who get caught cheating or something. You know what I mean? Like,
what's his name? Jackson. What's the guy? Jackson.
Who for who?
The big strong dude.
No, but who was he fucking with? I don't.
It was nobody important. He was like the guy that women always went to for advice. Jackson. What was his name?
Familiar. What?
Samuel
Jackson. Definitely not Samuel.
Derek Jackson.
See, a whole motherfucker, can't you see?
Yeah.
Derek Jackson.
Everybody was going to him,
he was
right?
a big strong
yes.
Yeah.
He cheated on his wife, right?
Yeah.
And then they were like, what you got to say about your king now?
Nia Long got cheated on by the dude from the coach from the...
This happened. Halle Berry was the first one to start.
But you know what I'm saying? They go,
that's my guy.
That's my guy, bro.
You know what? I miss him more and more when I see clips and I'm like, God,
he was
controversial.
No, he was, but man. And the hard part about like women sometimes is like, look, and I tell people, if it don't apply, let it fly. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you.
For sure.
He's talking to a direct type of mindset.
For sure.
Especially the women that would come on that show. I was literally just talking about him with Larry, and it was like a lady went on there, and these are all videos. She was just like, what she said. She was like, what's your problem with black women? Like, why do you hate us so much? And he's like, okay, that's how we're going to start this. He was very calm and collective. He was like, you married? She was like, nah, I'm divorced. And he was like, okay, you have kids? And she's like, yeah, I got like 5-6 kids. She's like, you got any sons? He's like, yeah, I got 2. She's like, I got 2 sons. He's like, okay, cool. Are they married? He's like, nah, both of them single. And he's like, okay, cool. Then he goes into, what do you say next? He's like, they're both of them single. He was like, all right, cool. Then he goes into, well, why aren't they married? And he's like, she goes, well, they look at women like myself and they don't like what they see, da-da-da-da-da. And she goes off on just talking about herself, but like as if it's not her, right? And he was like, so how'd you start off this conversation? And she was like, what don't you like about black women? He's like, Well, it's probably the same thing your sons don't like about you. That's why, like, because like they don't see what they're doing sometimes, and not just I don't say black women in general. They don't see what they're doing sometimes, and I can go on a tangent, so I don't want to.
Yeah, I
keep
think
going. Yeah,
a lot of times guys do it too, but I think people just set the tone of how things are gonna go just by the first thing they say when they meet you, or when they come and talk to you, and just by starting it off like, what don't you like about black people? It's like,
yeah,
if
you come off aggressive, then I mean you came off aggressive. That probably means that you ain't doing it to me. You're doing it to other people. You don't realize you are, because like nigga, like that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for. I don't need protection or for you to provide for me. So
I don't think a lot of people even know that they come off aggressive when they're talking to people. When they first start talking to people either.
Or people are used to being protected so much that they can say whatever they want. They think they can because no one's ever put them in their place.
Correct. Not a lot of people. I tell my homegirl this because she's one of them people who be talking. I'm like, you ever been punched in the mouth before? She's like, nah. I'll be honest but she like my little sister, so I talk to her like that. I'm like, you been punched in the mouth before? She's like, nah. I'm like, I can tell because the shit you be saying, it be so fucking left.
I say the same thing to my mom.
I'd be like, it'd be so fucking left that like I come from that school of like, you can have an opinion, but don't expect everyone to agree with you and fall in line with your opinion. So if they disagree, you have to be ready with what that looks like. And like, you can't just be speaking out of pocket, like to anybody. Like, you don't do it to me, but it's like
that's what it takes sometimes to
get
a punch.
Right.
For real.
No, I've been punched in the face before.
Yeah.
Like nigga, like
it changes.
That's what he used to say. He used to be like, men talk to men a certain way because of the threat of violence. Like, you can't just say whatever you want to a guy. Because he could just say, you know what? I don't care about this anymore. Just flip the whole board and just punch you in the mouth.
Throw out all rational logic.
Yep.
That's why people always joke about bullying being good because you kind of learn. Well, what you just said just now about men talking to men a certain way because of the threat of violence.
There's a hierarchy.
Yeah, it's not only that, but it's like a certain level of respect. It's like I respect that I should talk to you with respect, and you will do the same to me, or else this could get violent. And same thing like with your kids. Like your kids, you're going to talk to me with respect, or else you're going to be disciplined. Right. And I feel like people don't feel that way when they go out in the world nowadays. They just think they can do whatever they want to do because they're, people let them do
what I was thinking, I read a lot of comments on like TikTok and stuff, and I see the things that people say, and I'm like, that is the most coward thing you can do, is to talk trash to somebody on the internet, and then hide behind like a fake profile.
Yes, yeah, it is. But that's because like people know. Well, not people know they can get away with it or feel like they can get away with it. You know what I mean? In person, and that energy is always in the top any type of like internet experience. Like, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. And that's why for me now it's funny because when I first got on Instagram, I started building this. There were people come to my page and be like, "Yo, bro, you're trash. Bro, you suck. Bro, stop rapping."
My bad.
And nah, for real. Man, what y'all talking about? The fuck y'all talking about? Huh? That nigga ain't that great, don't believe the hype. What you talking about? That nigga can't switch flows, just one trick. What you talking about? That nigga, he been broke, he ain't getting money. What you talking about? Real talk, what you talking about? If it ain't money, nothing to talk about. That nigga ain't bag hood, that's my chick. What you talking about? That nigga don't own that, he be leasing shit. What you talking about? That nigga don't write shit, he be paying ghosts. What you talking about? Real talk, what you talking about? If it ain't money, nothing to talk about. Hands up, little nigga, I fight fair, nothing for us to talk about. Or the gun that I got handed down from my favorite uncle, make you walk it out. All these dogs crack me up, no real bite, just fucking bark. Swimming in your favorite hole with the deep strokes, I'm daddy shark. At first, I'd be like, I wanted to like hop on every one of these motherfuckers and be like, yo, who you fucking talking to? Like, if you don't like it, it ain't for you, right? But then I realized, like, you're never ever gonna win that battle. Like, and I'm not famous or anything, but I can only imagine if like someone was famous, the attacks that they kind of get because of people not being opinionated. So you have to learn how to be like, nigga, like, if this nigga ain't at peace, it ain't got nothing to do with me. If you don't like it, keep it moving. Like I always say, if it don't apply, let it fly. Like, you can't like. So I try to be better in those situations, but in person it's a different experience. People won't have the courage to have to even come up and talk to you in person, or keep that same energy they got online.
Think about someone like Kevin Durant. How every day, I mean, people are talking about how his hair looks terrible, how he's a loser, how he jumps from team to team, he creates burner accounts, he's super sensitive, he's a bum, and they probably wouldn't say that to him. I mean, he's a good.
No, who was it? It was LeBron James when the news reporter was like, you know what? Someone just needs to punch you in the mouth. If you said that to me, I'd punch you in the mouth. And then Stephen A. Smith was defending. He was like, LeBron James is 6'9", 250 pounds of muscle. Yeah. You think you can play? You can't even reach his mouth. Like, what are you talking about?
I see the TikTok comments, man. Somebody will post their child and they're like, yeah, unfortunately she has this illness or she was born with this defect. And then people are like, oh, she's so sweet and God bless her soul. And you go, mama. And then it's like one person who's like, oh, she looks like Shrek's little baby daughter or something like that. That's usually it's always that one. But if they were in a circle with them,
hey, remind me to send you a screenshot.
You can't say that. I mean, that's
look, the internet's become like a safety net. At least I can't speak for the people. I don't do that. So like, but if getting in that mindset, if I did, I'd feel like there's a safety net between me and this person. That's why I'm saying that. But I don't operate like that. So like. That's the crazy part.
What's real crazy is it goes both ways. Like someone like me who says crazy stuff like that to people, it's almost like they can say it on the internet and get away with it, but they would never say it to my face. But I would say it to their face. But if I do that, then I can get canceled. Or it's just
I think with me, like honesty has its price, right? That's the way I look at it. And I've learned that like the people that I really, really care about that are in my circle that I fuck with on a daily basis, I'm ultra honest and transparent with them. To where I feel like I can't be honest with everybody because a lot of people be like, oh, be honest. And it's like, yeah, but some people don't take that well.
They don't have that logic.
Right, exactly. And if they go automatically into that emotion room, then it gets violent, right? So even if I'm like, yeah,
call it back.
What's up? Right. So like even if I'm like, yo, Ri'Yadh, that hat don't look good on you. Like, what'd you say, motherfucker? You know what I mean? Like
he said surreptitiously.
No, like it can easily. No. I was giving an example. Right?
Now that you mentioned
I'm
it,
giving an example. Nah, it looks fine, dude. No, but if I say that, and maybe I'm being as genuine as possible in saying that, because that's what I think, and you take that the wrong way, that's the problem. So like, what for me is like. The connection has to be like, do you believe I have your best interests? Yes, I do. All right, cool. That hat don't look good. And then I think you would take it differently. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people attack people or say things. I'm like, look, not everyone deserves honesty. Like, if that's your world and that's what you want to do.
We have that, right?
Yeah, of course. With our other friend, it's like, I don't even say anything to him. He could be walking around with a booger hanging out of his mouth. I will say anything to him. I don't care anymore. Because, like, whenever I say anything, he just takes it personal. Yeah. It's like, I'm not trying to attack you, bro. Like, we're comfortable.
I'm trying to help you out.
If I were Ri'Yadh gets in my car and his breath stinks, I'm like, hey, bro, you need some
every
gum.
time.
Right.
And I'm like,
right.
I appreciate it.
I love it when Ri'Yadh will be like, you let me walk around all day with this hanging out my beard or something like that. And like, we're supposed to be friends. Like, that's what I like. I like it when you
speak my
mind. But that's the way it should be, man. And that's why it's just like.
You're like that. Because you was like, I'm sorry, Coop, but I remember I had that van and I was getting out and you had said something. I just started laughing. You just looked right at my mouth. You was like, Cairo, your teeth are jacked up. You ever think about getting your teeth fixed?
And then he got braces.
I got braces like the week after.
But it's funny, but it's all. I think it all comes down to delivery and who it's coming from. And I think that's why like when the people in my circle, I'm at the point now to where I'm like, I always ask them, do you believe I have your best interest? And like my homegirl, she'll be like, yeah, I do. Like I trust you, da-da-da-da-da. Cool. Then you are absolutely batshit crazy and you wilding the fuck out. I'm going to tell you. And I'll just go in, right? Because it's not coming from a place of like, I'm attacking you. It's coming from a place like, A, if you're going to fuck with me and be in my circle, like you got to act a certain way. And then secondly, like I do care how people see you and what they say about you. So like, I don't want to be put in a position to where they're right. So I'd rather you fix what the fuck you got going on and then let's talk about it, opposed to me acting like it never happened. And she'll appreciate that at that point. Most people that I fuck would appreciate it, but I can't do that with everybody. Like it's a different type of energy, and it's very unpredictable when I tell people things. So I just like I let them rock. If they ask me what I think, I'm gonna ask them, "Are you sure I know what I want to think?" And like, yeah, I'm asking you for a reason. All right, cool. This is what I think, and then from after that, I'll know which way they'll go, and if they can handle it going forward, or if this was a mistake. I'll know instantly, like right after I say it. So I think that's why a lot of people hate Kevin Samuels, or a lot of women, I should say, is because, or even like Sip Men.
A lot of guys.
A lot of guys said him too. But honestly, like if you really watch his videos, he was as hard on the guys as he was the women as well too. Like there's this one,
I already know what you're about to say.
Like yo,
he was like he said all that stuff. He was like, how big is your dick?
Right. and he was like,
he said, you got a big dick?
He was like, you got a big dick? And he was like,
I don't know. He's like,
I don't know.
we all know if you got a big dick.
Right.
You got a big
and
dick.
it's just like it's because like sometimes people need to be humbled, right? Yeah. And now granted, like he doesn't have that best interest, so it sounds like I'm attacking this person. But like, you came to my show, you called me, I ain't call you. So if you're gonna come to my show, I don't have to change or adapt because of you.
Facts.
You're gonna have to get with the fucking program. And the people who are tapping in, they're tapping in for a fucking reason. They just don't want to accept what the truth is, you know? Like a lot of the women out now, like who are like on this playing men or using, look, I don't even want to say it, but like with Zion, like, I don't know if y'all know, like,
oh yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, granted, like I can't speak on that situation, but from the outside looking in, it looks like what it looks like. So the hard part for me is just like, you got a lot of women who are gonna use men or play men or use them for a check or demand like you provide for me, but I don't got to give you anything back. And it's just like,
what does it look like, Coop?
It looks like Zion is being played, not being played in the aspect of like, maybe he knows what's going on, but like, I don't know.
Just put it out there.
Yeah, you know, like, and I don't want to, you know, like, you know.
Oh, my bad.
No, you good, because I don't
nobody.
No, I don't know him. I don't know him personally, so I don't want to talk shit or belittle what he's got going on.
But context,
but
kind of
as a member of the public, it looks like he's being used for his riches and fame. And I could be wrong to say that, and if I am, I apologize, but that's just the way it looks. So I think for me, like, you know, as men, we got to do better and focusing on ourselves and becoming the best version of ourselves. And on that mission, I think the woman you're supposed to be with will you know, come along for that journey. But
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
I said I wasn't going to be misogynistic this year.
What's up?
This year?
Yeah, you did. You just got to talk about
for real, man, because
that,
like you're gonna. Like, groupies are real, man. Like, groupies are fucking real. And it's like, a lot of these women, they see dollar signs and they see like, all right, cool. Like, I don't care what this nigga look like. I'm gonna fucking live my best life with him. And then it's like, you don't know if it's genuine or not, especially if you
set that up from the beginning.
But yeah, but especially if you know, and I've been cursing, so I'm sure we can curse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. I go off. So, but especially if like a guy normally doesn't get pussy, and you get rich, and you kind of like jump into a situation to where you got money now, and now you can like, you know, do the things you want to do, and then that chick comes around finally, and you're like, oh damn, this is my wife, this is the person I'm supposed to be with. But in reality, is you're public information, you're Googleable, right? Like you now become a mark, you're a target.
Especially when you grew up a fat kid who didn't have anything.
He wasn't fat, but here's the thing with him though, is that he grew up thinking that, you know, be sweet to girls, be a gentleman, things like that. But when you get out into the world and there's girls who only want one thing from you, and then you still trying. You remember when he was in college or high school or something? There was just
he just came off like a cornball.
Yeah, he was on the video. This girl recorded him on video. It was like, "Hey, sweetheart," or "Hey, darling," or something like that. I really miss you and stuff like that. Kind of like a cornball, like Ri'Yadh was saying. And that personality that he has translate to the next level when he gets to the NBA, and you got women who are seeking to like take advantage of those guys, and you get
an adult film entertainer, and he just lost it.
Yeah.
If you look at the DMs and messages, it got real nasty.
Yeah.
Flying her out, getting a hotel,
crazy stuff. I mean,
look, and you know, and that's where and that's why I fuck with Cameron and Maze so much, because like their lingo is like, that's my boys back home, right? Like Jordan Poole, you know, he spent like $500,000 on Ice Spice for a date. I don't know if y'all heard about that.
That's crazy.
And then
yeah, don't like him
for $500,000.
Oh, Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole.
I immediately thought
they sent that nigga to Washington.
Jordan
from Key and Peele.
Yeah, why can't I think of his name?
You just said his name.
No, wait.
Jordan Poole. You're thinking Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele. I'm thinking about Jordan. You said Jordan Poole from the Warriors, right?
Yeah. Who just got traded?
So when you said it, I immediately thought Jordan Peele.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
Nah,
you know who he's married to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea Peretti.
Oh yeah.
From
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, but they talk about him spending like $500,000 Ice Spice on camera, and they're like, "Look, she from the Bronx. You could have took her to get a slice of pizza and called this shit a day."
Wait, on a date?
I don't know what it was, but she ain't with him.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. Just because you got it is like, and that's where like guys be losing it at. It's just like, look, nigga, like you know, like my parents have been together for like about 40-something years, and like that old school type of love, like up and down. I'm not saying it don't exist anymore, but we have a lot of women now who aren't necessarily in a submissive mind state to where like I get if you got to be independent and do the things you got to do. Yeah, no, for real, like do the things you got to do. Like I completely support that because like, but there's a lot of women out here who listen to this music, what we're promoting, social media especially, and now becomes I demand you give me money, I demand you take me shopping, I demand you do me these things because that's what love is to me. Yeah. And right, and then what happens is as a guy, especially like I said, if you've never been around the block, you don't get pussy like that, and now it's on your lap. You're like, all right, cool. Like this is what you got to do, and this is why I couldn't do it before. But that's not what it is. And now you look like a fool because you spend all this fucking money, and she ain't even fucking with you like that. So
this thing too, money grants you a lot more access to a lot of women.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But the thing is, the quality goes down too. Like you have a flock of women come to you, but the quality goes down because these women only are flocking to you because of the money.
And the hard part is like, you know, not to say you'll never be able to tell, but like as men, like we do have to do better in that aspect, right? Because at some point, like from the way I look at it is like I'm doing this music thing and I do want to eventually take off. And I was just telling Ri'Yadh, like, I keep going switching gears, but like Jay-Z just got a museum built for him in Brooklyn. And like that's the dopest thing. Like if you haven't seen it yet, like it's so dope. Like the insides out, and like legacy is the most important thing to me with this music shit. So when it comes down to it, like I'm single right now, but I'm gonna meet my future wife, have kids with her, and it's like you want to know that relationship is genuine. And I think as guys, like we have to be on guard because like I am kind of like old school when it comes to like the love thing. Like I do want to provide for my woman, I do want to be that person, but like if it becomes, I'd rather make it an expectation for me to do that than a female coming and demanding that. Because when you demand that, then it's not genuine. I know off rip it's not genuine. If you don't expect it, and I'm here to support you, and I'm learning who you are as a person, and not just providing financially, but spiritually and emotionally, then I'm with it. Yeah, but they just built this, and like there's video online and everywhere, but it's called the Book of Hove, but they got his lyrics everywhere, pictures of him. They got equipment that he worked with when he was little, equipment that he worked with recording like the Black album, all his albums. Like it's super, super dope. It's a public library, public whatever museum you want to call it. But now like something like that, I look at it and I'm like, that's inspirational to me because it's just like when he,
how big is it?
You know what I mean?
That's
like
crazy.
Like when you leave the earth, right, to wherever you go, to say that there's a museum built for you, right, with all your music available to listen to, like coming from like New York, you know what I mean? Like that is crazy to me. And like it seems delusional to even think that one day that'd be possible, but that's the goal. It's just like it's legacy, right? So like at some point, like you're on your journey, you're gonna meet who you're supposed to be with, and that's the way I think it should be with everybody. I think everybody has a lot of work to do on themselves before they just jump into a relationship because of society pressures or what's on Instagram.
What do you want? Were you just talking about like when you leave Earth, right? Like when you die, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to remember you for?
Wow. I think when it comes down to just being a human being, just someone who cares for the next person. Like I'm very empathetic. Empathy used to be like a problem for me because like a hard thing about being empathetic is like some people will take advantage of that as well too. They'll see you're empathetic and they'll keep hitting that button because they know you're not going to go anywhere. To where like now you have to kind of use it like a superpower to where it's just like if I die, it's like I want to make sure people know like I had their best interest. I really wanted to see them win. I love coaching and developing people, like in just a matter of like for instance, I got artists that reach out to me now, and they may be just starting their journey on like the music thing, right? So they see the album, they see my Instagram, because like a lot of people weren't there like when I only had like 200 followers and I was stuck. You know what I mean? Now, granted, like I'm over 2,000, so not a lot, but it continues to build, right? So a lot of times they'll reach out and they'll see those things, and I'm not a gatekeeper by any means. Like if something that I know that I feel like can benefit you, I can only tell you my experience. So we'll chop it up on the phone, we'll DM. I just want people to know, like, I really have best interest for the people who want more from their lives to help them out. When it comes to musically, this new album that's coming out next month, when you guys hear it, it's completely different. Like it's just something I really challenge myself on to really be more hook centric, opposed to just kind of rap. So I feel like this album is super commercial, but it's a great vibe to it. Tells a story. But things like that, like I want to be able to go from being introverted and not sharing any of my experiences at all with the world to where just becoming an open book. And I can do that through my music. And like when Jay-Z, like even if let's say you're in Brooklyn and you don't even know who Jay-Z is, like there's a museum that you can go to, right? And start from the beginning to the end. Like for me, like legacy is always just the most important thing. Like I want to be like, you know, not to over talk it, but like when y'all in the barbershop and who's your top 5, like I want to somewhat get into that conversation eventually. That's my goal. That's how I see
it. What's your legacy?
Me? Mm-hmm. What I want it to be? Or what is it right now?
Yeah, what would you like it to be?
I don't know.
What do you want to leave behind? What do you want people to remember you for?
Well, I really want to know. What I really want is for like my family to know that I did what I could to take care of them. But outside of that, the thing with me is like with legacy, it's something that you leave behind that people have like a general consensus on. And I know like if you set out to like do great things in the world, you're still going to have people on the other side who thought you were, you know.
Facts.
Not everyone's going to like you. And so a long time ago, I kind of gave up on everybody liking me. And I just decided to focus on what I can control, which is like things in my life, things in my family life, taking care of my son, making sure that he knows I love him. And I took care of him. I try to lead him in the right direction. Same thing if I get married, my wife is going to know I try to provide and I try to lead her in the right direction. The rest of our kids, my siblings, make sure they know I love them when I was here. You guys, make sure you know I did what I could for y'all. But outside of that, it's like if you come in contact with me, you're going to know that I did what I could for you. And so I guess my legacy would just be that he genuinely did care and he wanted to help us and, you know, do what he could for us. He loved us. But as far as like the world, I don't care if I become famous. I know that there are going to be people who are going to say, you know, whatever they want to say about me. But I don't really care because I know the people who really know me know that I cared about them and know that I did what I could, the best that I could. Even though, you know, we make mistakes every day, did the best that I could to take care of everybody that I loved.
Yeah, that's good. That's what mine is. Just the people that I know, the people that I care about. I just want them to know that I did everything that I could to make their life easier. Like I'm selfless and I'll do whatever I can to help them out, even if it's just 5 people that's impacted. You never know how that branches off and affects other people. Because you got to remember, man, even if you're famous, you try and do, like you said, you try to do great, there's always going to be people that hate you. And it goes both ways. Yeah. I mean, you can look at Hitler. Everybody says, oh, everyone hates him. But you got to remember, there was a whole group of people who actually liked him. So
even to this day.
It's crazy when you think about it. But
yeah. I mean,
that's the thing. Is like no matter how famous or infamous you become, you're still going to have people that love or hate you. It doesn't matter who you are.
Nah, man, that's true. That's real.
And the thing is, too, depending on the times, things sway back and forth. Like, at one point, everybody hated a certain person, and then next thing you know, a few years later, everybody loves that person. And then it might change again.
I didn't realize how many people hated John F. Kennedy. They wanted that nigga dead.
Yeah, they did.
It's so crazy because even if you keep that going, it's like the whole cancel culture thing, right? It's like
The Rock, Will Smith.
Oh yeah, man!
Y'all see Kevin Hart special?
It's good.
Yeah, it is good.
It's on my list. But it's like the hard part about what I appreciate now is I'm still growing, but I can't imagine if my growing pains are public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So like when we look at people who are growing in front of us, like regardless if it's whoever it may be, it's very hard because like I don't know who is the captain of the cancel culture or who's been nominated to make those decisions, but it's like it's almost like it's almost like we penalize you for growing. Like even if you made a mistake, we hold on to it as a public, we don't let it go, and we hate you for it, right? Even if you said the wrong thing by accident, right? Even if you apologize, it doesn't make any difference. Like it's very hard to like do that in the public eyes. So like it's one of those things like when I look at Disney stars, like when they were young to where they are now, I'm like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like there's things that just happen along the history that we don't know. But then you also look at people like, even like for instance, the baby who like said what he said, right? And then it was like, oh, let's cancel him. Like he doesn't exist. Let's just make his work go away. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like what he said was wild. But at the same time, like he's still growing as a person, right? Yeah. Because I think like, for me,
just a baby.
Right? He's stupid. No, for real though. Like, like it's fair to say we all grew up in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So you know all the words that we used to say that you can't say now.
I still say them on Xbox Live.
Right.
You
know what I mean? Like the R word, like everything, right? Like it was just a different time.
I used them all in one sentence. But in my defense, he was all of those things.
Nah, but like when you think about that, man, like we used to you don't think it's crazy because you're just saying it. Like you just say
it.
What?
What's my man say? Okay, say it. I'll say it with you.
Say it.
Nah, but like, like things we used to say so casually to now, like fast forward, 20 years, it's like, you can't say that word. Don't say that word. If you say this word, you're going to get canceled. If you do this, we're not going to sign. It's like.
The list grows every year, too.
And it's like, and the list grows. And it's like, but if you grew up that way, now it's like, I have to change who I am because of someone's feelings or how they feel, or it's not necessarily accepted now. And I'm fine with, me personally, I'm fine with being on stage and changing, right? Which is probably not the right answer, but I'm fine with that. I'll adapt. But then there's some people that they are who they are. So when he said what he said, I think for him, it's just a matter of, all right, he made a mistake, let's move on. And he's back to doing what he's doing, and like he's just one example. There's plenty of people who've done that, but
Justin Bieber, he harmonized the N-word.
Yeah, he did.
And,
yeah, fun.
People love him,
and
not just words, like actions too. I mean, Chris Brown, you know what he did.
They pick and choose, man. People pick and choose who do.
I think a lot of it is this, it's mob mentality. Like the whole R. Kelly thing, we can't sit on here and say that R. Kelly's not that bad of a person because. We'll be looked at as terrible people. But we all have listened to 12 Play since that's happened. At some point, we've all listened to Bump and Grind or one of those songs. And if it wasn't for everyone saying, oh, that was horrible, we'd be like, yeah, I mean, but they had it coming.
I was just showing people the other day at work one of his music videos. Trapped in the closet.
Look, bro, all I'm going to say is the
Trapped
keys to ignition.
You see what I'm saying?
Fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body.
Got every man.
And the man's got hits.
He's
so
got
hits. It's but I think it's hard to separate the two for a lot of people. And maybe they can't, and maybe we shouldn't.
I think they don't want to.
I don't know what the right and wrong answer is, but I do know, like, cool, like, he fucked up. He more than fucked up, whatever you want to call it. Like, he's way past fucked up. But we can't say his whole history of what he's done.
You can't erase it.
You can't erase it. Unfortunately, you can't. As much power you think you may want to have, your opinion has, you can't erase it. So, like, it is what it is, man.
O.J. Simpson's the greatest running back ever. I don't care. He killed them.
I think.
He killed both of them with his bare hands. He left his ring print on the girl's neck had a Super Bowl ring.
I remember they broke it down and they were saying that if you look at it, like it was like a forensic scientist, and he's like, yeah, you look at the way that the neck was torn. A monster did this. Like you can't replicate this with any type of tool.
She was attacked by a bear. Yeah. Did you see the documentary with Arnold Schwarzenegger? He was talking about the Terminator. He was like, it was between him and O.J. Simpson to be the Terminator. But there was like they just couldn't see O.J. Simpson as a killing machine. And then he goes, God, did you just
Yo, y'all be watching documentaries like that? Or?
That's all I do is watch that.
Did you see the American Gladiator one?
No.
Yeah, you need to check that one out. That was good.
I'm on Ashley Madison right now.
Uh-huh.
Ashley Madison.
Yeah, it took them too long for that to come out, man. They should have been on that.
What's Ashley Madison?
You remember when
it was like the original Tinder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What happened on there though?
It was just a lot of people, got caught. All the information got publicized. Yeah, so it was like it ruined all their marriages.
And then they created
this was years ago.
And he was like, "Hey, I did a good thing.
Yeah.
This is actually."
He flipped it. He was like, "Yeah, I meant to do it." Doing God's work.
It was like a slander website that was
like.
You
can learn so much from documentaries, man.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah, so much information in documentaries.
And I watched all of them. I watched the Ric Flair one, the 30 for 30 Ric Flair. I cried.
Dude, the
alien one.
Dude, they're so good, man. Because it's just like it's not like it's real. Like even Malice at the Palace with the.
That was a great one. Yeah.
They showed our basketball court at the beginning of that one.
Really?
In the opening credits, when they show that's our basketball court that we play on right across from our neighborhood. It's so weird. I don't know why they showed that. I guess because of
I think they found
Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal was like North Carolina, so they just was like, all right, we're gonna go to the biggest city in North Carolina.
But that court wasn't built when he was playing. Remember they
just wanted.
Oh yeah, they probably don't care about that.
Yeah, the film just walked in and was like,
they don't
let's get this.
Like they showed our street, like the front of our street. Like if you drive down that street, that's our house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
But that was a good documentary.
No,
man.
that was a good.
I don't like how Ron Artest is friends with that dude though.
Which the dude that he punched?
The dude that threw the cup at him.
Ron
Artest is friends with him, and Jermaine O'Neal hates him for it. He's like, that's the weirdest thing to do.
Isn't Jermaine? Oh no, that's Kwame Brown is tripping, right? That's that everybody having a problem with right now.
Who?
Kwame Brown from my South
Carolina.
Carolina.
Well, Kwame Brown. Yeah, he.
Shannon Sharp. That's who we got on. Shannon Sharp.
Who? Kwame?
Yeah, Kwame Brown got on Shannon Sharp.
And Gilbert Arenas too.
You got on a lot of people. Well, what's his name? I know. I only watch a few podcasts, but the one and I'm bad with names of them. But the one with Steven Jackson and
All the Smoke.
Yes, All the Smoke. Yeah. Is it Matt Barnes?
Yeah.
Matt Barnes. Yeah. Because they had a little back and forth with Kwame Brown. Because Kwame was just snapping on everybody, but like, you know, I'm not trying to agree with Stephen A. Smith, but Kwame Brown got paid a whole lot of money.
Yeah, he robbed him.
I don't know. Look, I don't know you, Kwame. So it's no. But hey,
Kwame. Apparently, he. I don't want to say it on because we don't live.
Talked about the baby earlier. Go ahead. We don't talk.
I didn't say anything about the baby.
No, go ahead.
I'm a huge baby fan, by the way.
I am too.
We don't talk about the baby.
I'm a huge baby.
I didn't say anything negative about the baby.
I'm a huge baby fan.
I don't have anything negative to say about the baby.
But you got plenty of negative stuff to say about Cam Newton. He's a foot taller than you.
Cam Newton's a bum.
Okay. Apparently, he can't read.
What's wrong with you?
Nah, if you see him, I keep that same energy. I don't want you to be like, hey, man, can I get your autograph? He did a lot for our city.
What I'm going to do with autograph?
No, but I'm being from New York. I mean, I've been in Charlotte for a good bit. I like Cam, man. Cam did it. I'm big on being in places and appreciating greatness when it happens. I think a lot of times, like, even the way people talk about LeBron, right? It's just like, y'all don't miss LeBron when he's gone.
Same thing with Kobe.
Like, when LeBron is gone, y'all going all this negative and all this other stuff y'all talk about, and he'll never be this. Like, he's achieved so much from a human being standpoint, as we talked about legacy earlier, that we consistently, like, break him down. Like, there's people that I know that consistently just break him down every day, and I'm like, yo, like, get off his nuts, bro. Like, what's your problem with LeBron? You know what I mean? And we do that with a lot of people. So, like, when things happen, like Cam Newton taking the Panthers to the Super Bowl, it's like, yeah, they lost. Was it the Peyton Manning? They lost to Peyton Manning? Yeah, the Broncos. But, like, to be a part of that energy is you'll never
was big.
You'll never forget that. And I'm not even a Panther fan.
To this day, that's like Panthers' legacy, right?
You know what I mean?
Like,
like, I'm not even
culture.
a Panther fan, but to be around the energy, that's why, like, when I look at the baby, to be around the energy of, like, yo, someone from Charlotte's actually making it, because, like, before baby, like, who was it? Like, was it P.D. Pablo? Yeah. I saw your face.
Hamilton.
No, and Anthony Hamilton. Shout out Anthony Hamilton. But from a hip hop perspective, you know, and Cole, you know, from being from New York, when we look out, we say he's from North Carolina, but when you get here, he's from Fayetteville, right? So, like, no one really from Charlotte.
Yeah.
For the baby to, like, put Charlotte on his back, rep the foe, and like, just go out there and do it, like, I respect that. Like, that energy is crazy. That's what the city needed. So, like,
like when you make a song talking about how to get to the cookout over there on Sugar Creek.
As we just went to that. That's the last time we went to cookout.
That's actually where I'm about to get cookout from when we leave.
You know what I mean?
Like, coming here.
Like, I love being I love being a part of that, because I learn from it. I see it. I see people's reactions. Like, you just can't, like, capture that energy again, or you chase that energy, right? It's like, who's next coming out of Charlotte?
Every time I go to that Walmart, I just stand there. I'm like,
for a while, yeah.
That's messed up.
We would go there and we're like, dang, this is where it happened.
this is it.
Yeah, man.
When we gon' win? Kicking in the door, bitch, nigga, guess we in. That 38 tucked up for your chinny chin chin. Wrestling poverty, got a nigga feeling pinned. Devilish thoughts came just to override my brain. I stayed ready, headshots drawn like nothing was the same. My soul flames, my balls on fire like Luke Kane. My conscience talking, but devil got the tightest muzzle. Got empathy issues, I can't let my people struggle. Every night we talking different ways on how we come up. Mind of a young black youth, nigga, I was a dumb pup. Overtime working Best Buy, shifts and paying shit. I remember buying all that shit just to flip. Wasn't built for the drug game, but my people gotta eat. Foot on my neck and couldn't stand the smell of defeat.
Did you see the video?
Huh?
Did you see the video? Let me ask you a question. Now, we love the baby.
Yeah, it was self-defense because we love the baby. In a
At
discussion.
the time, yeah, we're for self-defense.
Yep. This is North Carolina, man. You got to be careful how you run up on people here.
And that's the other thing too, man.
Who ran up on who though in the video?
It don't matter, man.
Well, you talking about the one? Wait. Oh, hold on. But you talking about the one? You talking about the one who's being followed, though, right?
Trying to keep that legacy.
He's being okay. I give you that. He's being followed.
Dude,
we are sure.
Look, I'm gonna say this. The hard part is like, it's so crazy, right? Because I try not to look at it this way, but like being from the hood's like arenas, right? So like I look at it as like this: you have to adapt to what the arena calls for, and the issue now and what we live, the time we live in is nobody fights anymore, nobody slap boxes anymore.
Nope.
Nobody wants to get punched in the face.
Nope.
So what they instantly do now is they reach for a gun and they protect themselves. Even if they start some shit, they can start some shit. You get mad in motion room, boom, you get popped, right? So like for me, like, and especially where North Carolina, because is it now you don't need a permit, right?
They're working on it.
You don't have to register. Yeah.
You don't have to. There we go. So it's like you got to know, like, if that's the case, then most people don't have a gun, right? So like to try to like set him up or follow him, like I don't blame him for the self-defense aspect, because like at some point, once again, as you're blowing up and you're becoming famous, look, especially if you got kids, you got to protect yourself at all costs. There is nothing coming between you, me, my kids. Not even a thought. Like if you thought you had a thought, like I can, like, you know what I'm saying? If you thought you had a thought,
blow it out your ear.
I'm gonna blow that shit out. Like I completely 1,000%.
Like if it's just me, like out here, I got my.
Let you get this.
I got my gun in the car right now because I'm like I'm going to Sugar Creek. Anything can happen. I get a light and somebody can run up and
That's your
spit
first
on my
problem.
windshield.
It's in the car. Somebody busting here right now. What you gonna do?
Well, it's because I'm with y'all for. Like if I had a kid and I had my kid in here,
With us for what we gonna do against a gun?
You waiting on somebody?
those are human
else to do the
shields.
shooting?
No, I mean, those are
Human shields.
I'm gonna teach you guys. Deers when they see a human. Yeah, deer. Deers.
Deer.
That's the plural.
Yeah.
When baby deer, when the baby, I'm sorry,
funny.
the fern, the venison, whatever you want to say.
No.
Well, I mean, I want to use the correct term. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Call
if they
them
see a hunter, the female or the adult will run to distract the hunter or the predator, and then the fern will just like lay down on the ground and hide. So while the mom gets eaten, the baby can just escape and run away. So I say all that because if somebody breaks in here, while y'all are running, scattering around, doing all this, all that, I'm out the back door. Y'all can fire it out. Y'all can shoot it out. But I'm going to see the car.
I'm a slide cancel right below the TV right there. Down up on Kobe's picture.
You ain't doing
I'm
that.
getting a team
You got
out.
a bad back.
And that's why I practice efficiency.
Y'all funny. Y'all funny, dude. Nah, but no, for real. Like if the thought comes through, like look, you got to protect yourself at all costs, man. So I don't blame him.
Doubt, man.
You know what I mean?
neck.
For real, man. And for real.
I'll kill somebody. Do you think you can kill somebody?
Yeah, I've thought about
Do I
that.
think I can kill
know
somebody?
My
for
thing
a
is, I
fact.
know I can kill somebody. It's just a matter of can I live with it. But I'm okay with that.
The thing is, I know I can kill somebody, and I know I can live with it afterwards. I just know I'm gonna have to keep thinking about it.
I'm expecting that from you.
I wouldn't think about it. I don't
No,
think about it.
no, but
I think I'll think
no,
about
no. But I think that's subjective based off why you killed somebody, right? Like if you like, man, this nigga stepped on my shoe, so I had a black. I'm like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If somebody grabbed your mother right now with a knife,
You're gonna have
and
to
she
live.
about to
You're
stab
gonna
you?
have to live with that, right? Because you couldn't control your emotions.
Exactly.
But if we get kids involved, family involved, bro, I don't look. I go to church, pray, and then keep that shit moving. Like I'm not sitting on that energy because like I know like if only God can judge me. So at that point, like if it had to happen, it happened because you were out of pocket and you did something to either threaten me, my life, or my family, and I would always pick them and the people I care about.
Yeah, and
Only
it's
God can
justified.
judge you. If you kill somebody in front of you, I'll judge you.
I mean, that's fine, but you're just back at the social media people, right? You're like,
No, I'm judging you. What up, killer?
nah, but for real, man, like, you know, like, I mean, and that's with all, like, you know, I shouldn't say prayers to the family, because I know, like, you know, those people are like, oh, my son or whoever, but it's like, look, I got to protect myself out here. Like, people have to protect their families and protect their kids. People are crazy, man. Like, people are batshit crazy, and I can't sit here with a conscience being like, yo, you thought it was okay to threaten people that I love, and I sat here and I did nothing about it. That would kill me faster than me thinking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you there. Like, I was just gonna say I'm with you there. Like somebody coming after my family, whatever, I'm gonna protect them. You know, even if they're coming after me, I'm protect myself too because I still have a family to go back to as well. It's still for me, I'm empathetic. So even if somebody does attack me or my family, my thing after it's all over with, my thing is like, what brought them to that place where they can even do that? You know.
I feel you, man.
And I mean, and it's not like I'm not trying to say, oh, they're justified for attacking us or trying to rob us or whatever. It's just the fact that we have people in this world who feel like they have to go and do something like that.
You're thinking that after you killed him?
Yeah, I mean afterwards.
After you killed him.
Yeah, I'm not. See, like, I'm empathetic, but
that's it for him to worry about. When he gets heavy, he be like, "What brought me to this place?"
And it's not like immediately after. I mean, like obviously,
I respect
because when you kill somebody, you're gonna know who they are. You're gonna know their rap sheet. You're gonna know that their family. You know, so he's like, oh, he had a kid, you know, or his mom is crying even though she know that he was out doing what he did.
If I kill somebody, I want to look him right in the face. Yeah, I don't want him to take. I want to take his last breath right when he's gasping. I would be like, nope. I'm taking that too.
My thing is because like I have family members who got killed robbing somebody, and it's like,
really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I love my cousin.
We do too,
and that sucked. That,
I mean,
that
if
he
you
did
know
it.
that they're a knucklehead and they make poor decisions, that helps me sleep at night. I'm
Here's
like, yeah.
the thing. It's like, I know that.
Mom can cry all
you
she wants to and say he's a good kid.
You did what you did. That was messed up, and you died for it. But that doesn't suck that your family is without you now, you know?
No, I know. I know what you mean.
I check that box, I'm good.
I think, I think for me, like, where my empathy cuts off there is because, like, remember how we talked about the 2 rooms? It's like, logically speaking, if I didn't do anything, I would logically be without my family, like, or without my kid. So at some point, it's like, logic has to trump how I feel about this person who thought it was okay to attack anyone. Oh, that's perfect. Did y'all see the one where the mom was at the restaurant ordering food?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
like
do we not agree with what the son?
No,
you know
what? Okay, walk me through it again. What happened?
All right, so oh my bad.
Is this a video? We can watch it if he has a.
So basically, the mom was in. I don't know if they're in Chicago, right? They're at a spot. She's ordering food. The son's in the car. Now she carries the guns in the car, right? This guy goes in, and I don't know what started the altercation, but like what I'm not okay is with like talking to females any kind of way. I mean, I have sisters, moms, so like unless they were wilding the fuck out and you matching their energy, I mean, I still don't really kind of agree with that, but she wasn't doing any of that.
Wait a second. The video I saw, she was the only person that was talking. The guy didn't say anything.
No,
stop talking.
No, he was going in.
Okay, I saw him say, "If you say one more thing, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth."
He was doing the. Well, she was talking.
Yeah,
because
she was gonna get a point across.
She was getting her point across, but she wasn't like
shut him up.
Right, but he was like,
"What I want to say, I'm not going nowhere."
Right.
But then he said, "If you don't shut up, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth." See, that's what I'm saying. If we're talking to, if 2 men are talking this, and a guy says, "Stop talking, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth," you got 2 options.
You got to punch. Yeah,
you keep talking, or you shut up. or there's going to be violence. See, that woman thought she could keep saying that, and then he punched her in the mouth, and it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen?
No, I feel you, but the hard part is like, all right, so that's where now it gets a little.
You pull up his nickname.
Who?
His nickname was OG Mom.
Could she have just been like, I'm gonna keep quiet and walk out of here to keep my, everything intact? She could have, right? Logically speaking,
Yep.
But we all know, and this is no offense to women, women aren't always the most logical, right? So they can be very emotional, as we all know, right? So either way, she has the right to stand up for herself verbally, and that's what she did. She wasn't like insulting him or was like, yo, fuck you, go fuck yourself. She was speaking, and he wasn't trying to hear it, right? So then at that point, he attacks her. He starts like wailing on her, right? Her son's in the car. He heard it been got loud. So he creeps up. And like a nigga, he's watching, right? Like you see what's going on. Like if someone steps to Ri'Yadh, you in the corner, like if this nigga touch Ri'Yadh, I'm a freaking, right? Like he's looking at his mom being addressed, and this kid, he's a teenager, right? So he's not. This dude's a grown man. He's wailing on his mom. He shoots him, right? Protects his mom. At that point,
they had to be in Chicago. In North Carolina, that's a righteous kill.
I think she got off.
Yeah, I think
right.
so.
Yeah, she got off. It was in Chicago. She got off.
My thing is like, with you, mom do well on my mom. I'm obviously gonna put one of them too, right? But also, if I'm there before they even starts, my first thing is like, as a son, seeing things getting crazy, I'm like, Mom, let's go. Like, he said he gonna punch you. Let's get out of here before he punch you, because I'm gonna have to do something.
Right. So we'll get to that because obviously, yeah, that's she should have been done that and ended it. But like once it got that far, it's a righteous kill.
But who's
you can protect your loved ones?
You have to insert yourself into the danger. Like
that's
how it is
but the hard part.
But if he literally threatened her. He threatened to damage her.
It's tricky because you have to either.
Yeah, it's tricky to the point to where it's a gray area. So once you go to the court, it's either they're gonna side with the son protecting his mother or some thug who punched a woman. And 10 times out of 10, the judge
even
gonna
still a punch is that's non-lethal force.
No, it's not. A good lawyer, a grown man like that hitting on a woman. That's
but
he tried
the
to kill
guy's
her.
name was I want to say his name was like Knockout or something. First of all,
That's it. There you
that's
go.
a weak man.
There you go.
He wasn't able to compose himself. He wasn't able to de-escalate, walk away, or anything. And he wants to strike a woman.
So
and
that's
he
my
couldn't even
point.
knock her out.
That's my point.
A weak man.
So that's my point. So any judge can look at that and say, well, this guy, he's a thug. He's named Knockout. He was yelling at a woman in front of her child, and he hit her. He was trying to kill that woman, and he stepped up and he killed him first. Righteous kill. In North Carolina, he gets off 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. It's not even an argument.
Look.
Especially depending on the type of guy that kid is. If the kid's like an upstanding citizen and the mother is like, a churchgoer and all this, and then you have some thuggo who does that, man, he just did
the hard part is, if we're talking about like the pieces on the board here, right? As a kid, even if he interjected, like who's to say he wasn't get punched and fucked up? Right, as a grown ass man we're dealing with. Like, granted, like he could have swung and pushed him away, but like if I'm willing to beat the shit out of a woman, I'm probably willing to beat the shit out of a kid.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Like I beat the shit out of both of y'all, right? From his perspective. So like, I agree with how he handled it, because the hard part is just like, growing up in the hood, I'm sure they probably don't live in the best area. It's like there's times where like it's either killed or be killed, and it's one of those situations to where like my mom is being attacked. And keep in mind, there's people that work there. There's probably other customers there. And everyone's watching this person beat the shit out of my fucking mom, right?
Nobody's helping.
No one's helping. No one said anything. Everyone is standing here watching my mom get her ass beat. Regardless if she deserved it or not, you're putting your hands on the female. And the other issue I have with that is like, as we say like, hey, women are emotional, is like, I never when I know like a female's being emotional, I never match that energy because there's no logic to it. So just like, look, hey, it is what it is. Like, I'll talk to you when you figure your shit out, because hey, there ain't no point of us even having a conversation. So to be the aggressor and get even more mad and then put your hands on her, like, what was he supposed to do? Like, I mean, he can run in there and pull his mom away. He get fucked up too. Like
what sucks about that too is that he's 14, right?
I think it's 14. Yeah, something like that.
This dude's gonna be. I mean, if he's like you say, if he's like a upstanding citizen, like a good kid at school and stuff, he's probably scarred from having to kill somebody. Like you.
See, I don't think he's gonna think about it that way. Like he said, it's not like somebody stepped on his shoe.
I'm saying just because of his age is what I'm saying.
It's not like somebody stepped on his shoes.
But I think that's where the empathy, for me, cuts off, because I can't speak for him. I'm sure he feels the way he feels, but like, you may cry about it initially, because for me, like, it does suck, right? But like, you have to understand, if I didn't make this move,
exactly,
my mom
could be dead.
My mom could be in the hospital.
That's your logic room.
You know what I mean?
You get that, but you still have an emotional room, is what I'm saying.
You do
still feel things, even though you know you did.
Yeah,
right.
No. But for a little while,
it's like people that go to war. They go to war. They kill people, fight for their country because they know they're fighting for a reason. But they still come back messed up.
Yeah, because once they get over, they're like, man, I killed these people who look just like me. For what reason?
For fighting for their, like,
but if it's all a lie though, it's like, man, I did this for what?
I think that
if you go to D-Day and you're fighting the Nazis and you come back still, you think they come back
that's
happy
completely different. If you go in there fighting the Nazis, you're fighting for freedom. You don't come home and say, man, I just killed a bunch of Nazis.
Come back.
No, but I also think that I can't speak for it, but I feel like a lot of times that PSTD, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, PTSD.
PTSD comes from how we treat our vets as well, because a lot of times, like, we give them no option to sit and think about their decisions instead of helping them get off their feet or doing certain things for them, to where it's just like, damn, I killed all these people here to be a bum on the street, or I killed all these people for people not to give a fuck about me, or
especially if you're black,
or I killed all these people not to get any fucking respect where I'm from, or people belittling me, whatever the case may be. So a lot of times, like, when you have to look in the mirror and look at the why, then I think that's when it's like, damn, like, was it worth it, right? And I think for me, like, he may feel those emotions initially to where it's like, damn, I killed someone, da-da-da-da-da. I'm sure his mom is telling him he did the right thing. You got the court system telling him, look, y'all good, y'all did the right thing. So at some point, like, he'll never forget it. He'll be scarred. But the whole logic emotion thing is like, I'm not building up shop there. Like, I'm not building a house in the emotion room. Like, I'm there. I spent 3 days there. All right, cool. We got to get back in this room. But I'll always remember what happened in that room. And
that's my point, is that the fact that this kid had to even be in that position in the first place.
It's rough, man.
Well, yeah, it's because of that guy that put him in that position, or possibly his mother. Because let's not go past the point. If that was a guy talking to another guy like that, and he got welled on, nobody's jumping in. Nobody's killing anybody. You know, if my dad was talking to a guy like that and he got beat up, you know, me and my dad, we just got to go home and be like, hey, man, you took that L, but you started it. Right. You know, I'm not about to kill somebody because you fight one-on-one.
But that's also because that's how we grew up, man. Like, that's like, it's so crazy. Like,
that happened with us.
That era, like,
when you got your ass beat by Matt, and you was like, man, how can we take up from me? I was like, hey, man, you started it on his property, and y'all, it was one-on-one.
Was it at the dude with the basketball goal at his house?
Yeah. You was there. It was.
Tell that story, because I remember this.
No.
It's gonna get edited.
We ain't doing
as many times I stood up for you and fought for you and shit. Right? You gonna bring up some petty shit like
that? You have never in your life fought for me. I've never put you in a situation where you had to fight.
We ain't talk. We ain't got. I
beat up a nigga that you was just talking about earlier. Our friend. Our friend. The one who you can't talk to and relate to.
You didn't beat him up. We jumped him.
I knocked that nigga out.
Actually, I want to say he beat us. 2-1.
Y'all talking about each other's L's.
We took that L together. Right?
I saw. Kind of remind me of this meme. It was on Instagram where like the guy always brings up those awkward conversations. Like, yo, you remember when you got your ass beat and then he took your girl? And it's like, nigga, why are we talking about this? Oh man, you would cry like a motherfucker. And it's like. And it's like, do we got to talk about this?
Now, the point I was trying to make is, if it was anything, if he had got jumped, or if it was anything unfair, I would have been there. But it's like, man, you got to learn this lesson.
You got to take that L.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is, nobody wants to take an L no more, man. Like, nobody wants to take, like, I mean, especially if you an L and live about it and talk about it, right? Like, because, like, it's just evolved into this, like.
You know why, right? Because people are like Ri'Yadh was just saying about this dude, they're weak-minded now. They too sensitive. You used to be able to take an L, and then your boys talk junk about you taking an L, and then you go get a W next time.
Exactly.
But nowadays, you take an L, and somebody leave a comment on TikTok, and you got to go shoot somebody.
Every time I see him.
See, what you Ri'Yadh? Now you why you brought it?
He sucker punched me,
dude. Fuck,
what was I? 7?
I've been sucker punched.
I was like 7. The nigga sucker punched me, and my nose started bleeding.
I've been sucker
and it was over with.
I had allergies.
I tried to fight him the next day. A couple years later, I saw him at his grandma's funeral. I was like, yeah, you know I'll fight you. And he brought it. He was like, yeah, man, every time you try to fight me.
It's like,
I was like, I need that back.
I don't know what he's doing.
What consequence of the Joe Budden? Remember that?
You better be training.
Oh, man.
He was such a nice guy.
Look, it sounds like he's an op, so you got to pick which side
he was he was always a real nice. He let everybody from the neighborhood come over to his house.
Drake in Degrassi. He
seemed like that.
Oh man, that's crazy.
He let the whole they took our goals down. He let the whole neighborhood come in his
I've been in plenty of fights. I done lost. I remember it. I learned. I moved to the next. But that's just not the generation that we're in, man. Like, everybody can get a gun illegally or legally, you know, and feel like they're a tough guy or they're a gangster, or, you know, if this person touched me, I'm gonna shoot them. And they're just like, nobody shoots the fair one no more. And a lot of it is because niggas don't know how to fight, but two, they don't want to have that feeling of like, I got my ass fucked up or whatever. So like, I'd rather just shoot this nigga.
You know what the thing is with me? I used to work at this store, and this guy told me this story. He used to come in my store all the time, and you know, he was a cool guy. So he came in one day. He looked funny. He looked different, like he had cosmetic surgery or something. And it got to the point to where we asked. He was like, "Yo, what happened?" He was like, "Yeah, man, my eye socket was encaved, and I had to have it, restructured." And he was like, so his sister was dating this dude who was beating on her, and she called him over one day to come get him off. So he came over and he's like, "Yo, get off my sister and everything." And he's walking outside. The guy sucker punches him in the side of the head. and just that one hit, he said it felt like somebody grabbed his eye and they pulled his whole body back.
Wow.
And like he'll never look the same again, all because he was taking up for the girl. And of course, she's still messing with the guy. So it's like he could have just walked in the house and just shot him.
What you doing if your sister call you and say that?
Now it depends, because we have cousins that's the same way. And my thing is, if I say, hey, you don't need to mess with guys like this, you need to cut them loose, and if she says no, I love them, then y'all together. I'm not about to risk my life, my freedom.
No. All right. Well,
what you shake your head
no,
for?
Nothing to say.
No. Okay. No.
We don't have no sister.
I got 2 sisters, so I can answer that. So, and I love both my sisters. All right. One sister, she don't know how to control how she talk. So, but I already know this already, right? So the hard part is just like, I already know if something happened, you probably did it. Like, you probably said something, you probably popped off. So don't call me to fight a nigga, because like at this point, it'd be the same concept. It's like you calling me into something, to this monkey shit, for me to leave with a black eye, and you for to be like, yeah, we getting married. You know what I'm saying? So like, just get your emotions under control and figure that shit out, right? Or know your fucking worth, and he puts his hand in, you got to leave this nigga. That's that. But I have another sister who is just like, she's super soft spoken. She's not very confrontational. So like, I'm the type of person where I stick up for her a lot. She's older than me, but it's just like, she's how she's built. So when something's happening, I address it, because she doesn't like to talk about the elephant in the room. So I know if someone put their hands on her, it's like, I know who she is. She didn't do it. Like, I know she didn't do it.
I think that's fair.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I, because here's the deal. Like, at the end of the day, family or not, like, everyone's in charge of driving this own car of what we call life. Like, you make the decisions and you say what you got to say to go through life. So once I know what kind of car you drive, I didn't know what kind of questions to ask based off like, what happened, that don't sound right. Like, nah, you bugging, you lying. Tell me the whole truth. That kind of thing, right? Because I know that don't make any sense.
We were just talking about that last night.
Yeah.
Where you was like, some people talk too much, and you was like, they were saying all this stuff. And I was like, yep, I believe every single thing. I believe everything she said.
Yeah, because there's some people that just, like I got one boy who he be capping. Like, that's all he does. He caps. And I'm just
we got a friend like that too.
Yeah, he just caps away, like fucking Captain America, nigga. Like not for real. He be capping. And me and Larry talk about it all the time. And it's just like, yo, like, you just let him cap. Like, it's okay. They're not doing anything to me. But I know if something would happen. Huh? You do. But I can't. I can't. All right, cool.
Exactly what you're talking about.
So for me,
I should put him out there. You can edit, just throw a big ass.
Oh wait, no. Actually, not him. I know who you're talking about, but it's somebody else. He caps too. Yeah. He caps a whole lot, but it's somebody different. It's funny because I'm at what you're thinking. So like. That's not him, but like I know what you're talking about. So for me, it's just like I know if something would ever go down and he hit me up, it'd be like the boy who cried wolf. Unfortunately,
wait, you said his name?
No, I didn't.
All right.
You trying to set me up? So look, I got Tim's on, but I got Tim's on, but I'm quick on my feet. Right? So
we all can't be the GOAT. Some of y'all lying to yourselves. Yeah. If you the GOAT, then he the GOAT, then she the GOAT. I guess the question, who the GOAT? Everybody wanna claim they GOAT, but forget no only had 2 in that fucking boat. Oops, I'm in off. There's too many names, so where do I start? Can't tell you line, you playing a part. Can't tell no line, I rip you apart. I'm an all-the-wall connoisseur, and I stand with the hip-hop heads like martial arts. It's that Phil stepping like Yamakra. It's that gang that's gonna letting off 1,000 raws. It's that Bane asking you to get feeling charged before I burn through your city like a Mazel Tov. It's that Birdman, put some respect on my name, my nigga. I'm talking all tree of y'all.
I already know if he hits me up, it's gonna be like, dog, like stop it. Like, and unfortunately, it may be the boy who cried wolf, but you pick a wrong time to be honest.
Yeah.
Because
that's the worst thing about them type of people too. Is like,
it's like because now you want me to weed through all the fucking lies and capping you've done to now believe what you're saying.
Because even if it is true, I know there's a lie in here somewhere that makes it not
something.
A complete truth.
And that's why, like, when I listen, I'm and we're gonna Best Buy for so long. Like, I've learned to like learn that listening's more powerful than talking. So like
people telling themselves.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
That.
Yeah. So
I tell people to this day, I'm like, man, my boy Cooper, he worked, and the way that he would speak to someone, like from the moment he engages you, he's paying attention to every little detail. He's able to break down what he wants to get out of you, what he's gonna get from you, And I'm like, he just mastered it.
Yeah, I tell him all the time, man. The bomb people walk on, I'm like, all right, this person gonna get a Best Buy credit card. He's like, I don't know, fuck you know. I'm like, just look, you gonna get one. You know, because it's body language. People, I'm just really good at reading certain things now. And then also the more you talk, I don't really talk over you or during your talk. I'm just listening to what you're saying. And I don't have like a photographic memory or anything, but I remember what you're saying. So if you tell me some shit and it doesn't add up, especially based off your character and what you said before, then we got some explaining to do. You know what I mean? Especially when chicks call me, they're like, yo, man, this nigga ain't calling me back. Well, what happened? Well, you know, I called him. I'm like,
he's noting every little
I'm
detail
listening.
that
I'm
you
like,
say, and he's piecing these together. And this person who's thinking more emotionally, they're just spewing stuff.
right,
out
exactly.
right.
So for
He's
instance, I'll give an
already
example.
picking
So this
apart,
chick would be like,
she's lying.
well, I called him and he ain't picked up, da 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 da. And I'll be like, and we literally had this conversation last week, and I'm like, let's go back. That's my thing. Let's go back to the beginning. You said you called him, right? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, you called me 22 times to have this conversation. So how many times you fucking call him because it wasn't once?
Right. Facts.
So
Right? And they'd be like,
Yeah.
you called this nigga 100
right there.
times?
Oh, they don't like when you put them out like that. It's like, just tell me what I want to hear.
Right, because they want it. But in all fairness, but in all fairness, they're telling it from their lens, right? And the issue is like you're missing the detail of why. Nigga, I wasn't about to pick up for you, like, and I'm not even fucking you. So like, you called me 22 times. So I can only imagine how many times you called this nigga to fuck with him about some shit that probably don't even fucking matter. Yep. Let's just be honest.
Chaos.
Right? Leave this nigga like, and that's where how my conversations sound if I fuck with you like that. But like, I just listen to what people say, and a lot of times they don't realize they're not telling the whole truth. And they're not doing it on purpose, I would say. I think most people are just so emotional that it's like, this is my perspective. Let me tell you about it because I don't know what's going on. And it's like,
Emotions one. So I'll give you a couple other examples. Like, and we've all spoken about this. People who lie a lot, they don't understand how bad of a liar they are because they think that they're such a good liar. Because if no one calls them out, they think it's like a game. I'm gonna lie, and if no one calls me out, then I won. And if they keep doing it, then they keep winning. It's like, I'm undefeated. I'm the greatest liar. But they get so sloppy after a while, like we have our friend. They lie so much that they think it's a good lie. And it's like, well, wait a second. You're telling us this stuff. We literally know that nothing that you're saying is true, but you don't know that we know that.
Correct,
How
yes.
oblivious are you? Like, you know, like, we can call you out, but there's just no use. Just let them have it.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Because if you're not in my circle, then I don't really care what you lying about or who. Because but if you are in my circle, it's gonna be like, nah, like that ain't right. Like, what you mean? And I'm gonna have a conversation. I just don't. I used to be the person that let things slide. I don't know what happened to me over time, but I used to be the person to be like, yeah, let them slide. But then I got to a point where like,
It's disrespectful.
if you're gonna be around me and lie to me, and regardless as little as it may be, what else would you lie about, right?
Exactly.
Like for instance, like let's just say like this person, I'm like, yo, how's my music? Oh man, it's hot. You gonna make it? You gonna be famous? And I eat that up, right? And I play for y'all. I'm like, yo, like how you talking, like you, like last one, you're like, yo, I like your poetry better than your music. I'm like, yo, I appreciate that because like that's honest, right? But there's people who are just like, oh man, you gonna look when you make it, don't forget about me, big bro. Like, and I'm like, yeah, and it's like,
This also just being nice.
no, there is, but then like, but in my circle, I don't need. Nice.
I respect that.
You know what I mean?
I've always been super honest with you and straightforward.
Me too.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you, bro.
Nah, I don't like that jump.
I'm comfortable enough, and I said that to you because I'm comfortable enough because I know like the constructive criticism. I'm not hating on you.
But I don't take it that way. Because,
I know you don't. Yeah.
Because emotionally, maybe people be like, "Well, then fuck this nigga," right? But it's like, nah. Like if you said that, then that means, all right, cool. Either I got to step my game up in music from a standpoint,
right?
Or maybe that's just the way God designed it to be. But I don't hate it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But for me, like, there's people in your circle and that's why I fuck with Larry so much. Larry will tell me how it is, and like I'm the same way with him when he's fucking up. So the hard part for me is like when people cap a lot, it's like I can't really keep you around me because if you're gonna be around me, you got to fix that.
That's like a thief.
The worst thing about those people too is that they think you're closer than what you really are. Too.
Oh my god!
So they're like, why you didn't come to me with some advice to ask for advice or whatever? Like, do you know who you are? Like, why would I come to you to ask for advice when you lie to me about everything?
Because they don't think they know. They don't think that you know they capping. So like,
right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. So that's the thing. So like, for instance, like I don't ask this person for music advice or what they're looking like. I don't ask them just because it's just like you're gonna tell me what I want to hear, and that's not why I asked. Yeah. If I wanted to know
That's
what I
what your
want.
mom is for, you know?
Right? You know what I mean? Like my mom, like, oh man, you're the handsome kid, and I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm
And that's
like,
our relationship, we can go bowling together, but when we talk about business, you don't
right.
stand in that
You know what I
shit.
mean? Like so, yeah.
So Ri'Yadh, earlier when you said, oh, you know, our friend that I can't relate to, it's not that I can't relate. It's just that I don't want to. It doesn't benefit me. It's like if there's somebody that's gonna lie to me about everything, you know, that it's to a point to where it's disrespectful. Like when we went on vacation.
Maybe she just don't care about that.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, see,
I see what you did, but what do you mean doesn't care?
Maybe, you know.
No, I think they lie blatantly because they just don't understand how bad of a liar they are. And then the fact that they don't care about who, me? Maybe they don't care about me.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay, so
You
that's
know,
disrespectful.
but you know what it is? I don't take it as disrespect because it's, you know what it's like. I mean, I don't know who this person is, but it's like if a snake bites me, I don't take it as disrespectful. I take it as that's a motherfucking snake.
Okay, all right.
So like as you're dealing with a capper, let's just call.
But this isn't a snake, and I wouldn't consider this.
I'm not saying it's a snake, but clearly that they capping.
Yeah,
You're
right?
just saying that you know who they are. This is who they are.
Right, and that's where for me, like what I mean by that is like I'm very big on people are who they are, and that's their behavior. Right, I'm very big on looking at people's behavior and their regimens and their rhythms and what they do routine wise, because that's who they are. Like you can like if, for instance, like if, hypothetically speaking, let's just say your life was broadcasted on TV, right? I don't even have to hear you speak to know you as a person. I can watch that movie in silent and be like, all right, cool, this nigga wakes up at 8 o'clock. All right, cool, this is what he does. Damn, that nigga didn't brush his teeth? Let me see if he does it tomorrow. I can watch all that and gain more information from that and then know what kind of piece you are on the chessboard, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is like, when it comes down to someone who lies and caps, I look at him as like, that's who they are. So I don't judge him. I don't hate him for it. You just can't be around me. I don't need a capper around me. So at that point, you got to make a decision, right? Instead of trying to change this person or understand this person, you have to accept who the fuck they are. Absolutely. And once you accept who the fuck they are and how they
so that's where I'm at right now. So
different group of friends.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So that's that reaction that you see that you notice. That's where I'm at.
Because once you accept who they are and you truly accept it, then a tough decision comes across, right? Because I've told chicks that I've told them, look, like I get chicks hit me up and like they want to talk about nothing but problems and issues and this, that, and the third. And I said, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. We can't talk on the phone no more. What I do is like, you didn't do nothing. There's nothing wrong with you, right? I'm at the point of my place right now where it's positive energy. I'm focusing on my music. I got shit going on. So if you thought I can be on the phone with you for 3 hours talking about some draining shit, you got to figure out who.
Especially if you're not single,
like
right?
Dude, but that's where
I'm the same way.
But that's where my empathy comes in, right? Because I feel like I can fix everything and save everybody and make people understand how I see things. And the issue is like they have to want to understand how to see things and want to change. And when I don't see those behaviors, right, or you ask me for advice and it goes in one ear out the other, it's time for me to get the fuck out of there. Like it's time for me to be like, look, like if we're on the phone talking about some shit that you're having a problem with, and I give you a solution, only for you to make the problem worse, then why the fuck are we talking?
Don't you hate that? I've been giving out some
good advice.
Dude, I be dropping some gems, man. I be dropping some gems.
After you do it, you be on the other end of the phone like,
yeah, no, for real, dude. For real, dude. And every time I drop a gem, I mean, not to boast, but I'd be like, damn, what did I say? You know what I mean? I'd be like, damn, I got to write that down because that may help me out.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was at work the other day, and one of my friends, he was like, yeah, a wise dude once told me, and he said this whole thing. I was like, dang, that's good. Who said that?
Yeah, you know,
like,
it's funny. I'll tell you, hold on. I'll tell you what I mean. Sometimes they just, let me go to, I don't know if you guys started threading yet, but threading is like the
Facebook, Twitter?
Yes, correct. The Facebook, Twitter. So the other day, like I was on
what's
Threads.
it called? Thread in?
It's called Threads, the app. So the other day, because I just woke up one morning because someone was pissing me off, and I was like, let me start using Threads. So I put like, it really sucks when people you care about don't see the vision. But on this journey, you'll come to the realization that when this movie is all over, everyone will be looking for their name in the credits.
Damn.
Right? So, and that, I just woke up and I just put it out there, right?
You went back to sleep and woke up like,
and then like, I woke up, it was like 11 likes, 12 likes. I'm like,
can we get that again?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to write that down.
No, I
Say
said,
it a little slower.
I'm going to rethread that.
I said, it really sucks when the people you care about don't see the vision. But on this journey, you'll come to the realization that when this movie is all over, everyone will be looking for their name in the credits, right? Because like the reason why I felt that way is because like, and I write a lot, but so I'm trying to just put things out there opposed to writing it down. So like, when you become like the person, the version that you're supposed to be of yourself and that you see in the mirror and you see in your mind, it's like everybody then wants to be like, oh yeah, man, remember when I helped you? Or remember when I did this? Or remember when da-da-da-da-da? Like everybody wants to take credit for your development and your growth when there's like some nights and lonely nights and things you went through that nobody was fucking there. So like right now, like the hardest thing with me is like the people that I grew up with that are back in my hood, like I'm trying to give them opportunities on this music shit. And I may be fighting a little bit too hard for it, but when I see windows of opportunity, the nature and the empathy in me is like, all right, cool, let me give this person an opportunity, right? I give them opportunity, and it's kind of like they either don't see it the same way, or they just don't care, or they're living a certain lifestyle. And for me, it's just like, it's disheartening because it's just like, man, the vision is so much bigger than what you fucking doing, bro. Like, I'm not saying like I know you got some shit going on, but like you got to take. I'm not even asking for all your time, but take some time out of your day to knock this opportunity out. And I know like you're gonna see some return on investment on it, and that's me being selfless because I can easily take the opportunity. And when I'm handing it off like a quarterback, and you're just like, nah, I don't see it that way, and I'm like, all right.
Have you ever had times where like you try to help somebody out, you know, present an opportunity to them, and then they just take the opportunity, kind of like throw it in the trash, or they just don't respect it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to how bad do you really want it, right? And not me being I want it for them, because that's one thing I learned even at Best Buy and working with Larry is like you can't want it more for the next person, right? And like as much as you want it and you're like, oh man, you can knock this out the park, this is your thing, like that's my vision, right? And if your vision is to, nah man, I'd rather sit on this couch and do this, then it's like, all right bro, like it is what it is. I can't hate you for it. So there've been plenty of times where like I've given opportunities, and the same thing here, I'm not perfect. I've got opportunities before and I didn't see the benefit of the vision, and then, you know, I kind of go back and regret certain things. But like for me, like I'm at a place now to where it's just like musically I'm talking to people that I never thought I'd be talking to. So like when I see something and I hear something, or like for instance, like last year, Fat Joe reposted something on his page of mine, right?
A video?
Yeah, it was a video. Yeah. It happened last year, and I had a brief conversation with him, and then I was like, yo, I got to get this, my boy who made this beat, to like, because if he's actually fucking with the beat more than he is with the lyrics. So at that point, I could just kept my mouth shut, or I could be like, yo, I'm going to send you, screenshot it, send it to him, right? First, I'm not making this shit up, right? You already know who I've been talking to. I phone calls, logs, pictures, like, yo, you got to do something with your beat, create a catalog, do something crazy, maybe do a freestyle challenge, tag Fat Joe in it. He ain't do nothing with it, right? So like when I look at things like that, I'm like, damn dog, like, am I bucking? No, you know what I mean? Like, am I the one tripping? Like, because like, are we not supposed to be like changing our lives and being for the better and chasing this greatness thing, or are we just comfortable where we at? And if you are, that's fine. I'm not hating that. If you're comfortable where you're at, that I am completely okay with that. But then communicate that, right? Because for me, it's just a matter of like, I see these things and I have these visions and I want the best for everybody. But if people don't see it, like I can't make it happen. Yeah. You know
it
what I
goes
mean?
back to what you were saying about having people around you, like-minded people.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at now, man. My circle's super small, but like even like the artists that I've been working with on this new album that I got a chance to meet, like when I was in Philly, like I got a chance to travel a good bit. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that really, but I got a chance to travel a little bit and just kind of go like on a mini tour. So like before this album dropped, so I got a chance to perform in Philly. I was out in Boston. I went to where else did I go? Virginia. Performed in New York, Manhattan, my hometown in Staten. Just driving around doing everything independent.
How do you do on stage?
Like when you say how, like a performance wise?
Well, okay. So I mean, like, how do you feel? Are you comfortable? Do you feel like
I'll be honest with you. I've always hated like public speaking and being in front of people. Mm-hmm. So like I'm always gonna be super nervous. But but I've come to understand like that's how you're supposed to feel. Mm-hmm. I was watching this video with Jadakiss honestly, and he was talking about how he always gets butterflies between every show. Right. But he goes out there and he kills that shit, right? So I think it comes with part of the beast of like, you're going to be nervous. You're going to have butterflies. You're going to be shaky. You're going to do all these things. But
you think it's something that you're going to get better at?
But this oh yeah, 100%. But I think that feeling's always going to be there. But I think a part of that comes with the movie. You know what I mean? So yeah, a part of that comes with the movie. So I got a chance to travel, do a lot of cool things. Fairy Weight came out in September of last year, so it's been going pretty strong. Complete album. I got a chance to work with a lot of amazing people from those cities.
Do you have a lot of features on here?
On that album, yeah. Actually, also got a feature. I don't know if you guys know who Vado is. Vado, he's a rapper from Harlem. He used to run with Cameron a little bit back in the day.
I know Vado. What's the song that he did?
That's
not a song that he was featured on.
But he's got a few. Well, not a few. He got a bunch of albums out. Most of his famous mixtape series are the Slime seasons. So Slime season 1, 2, 3, and 4. He even ran with DJ Khaled for a little bit. VADO for the Vado, and he's out. He gave me a 16 for the album. I got a 16. Shout out for Sheik Luch on the album.
You got Sheik?
Yep, Sheik's on the album as well too.
That's dope.
So yeah, I've been putting in a lot of work, and I don't really talk about it as often because we're talking about it, but it's just more so of like I'm just connecting with certain people and doing things. And
did Sheik give you a 16 or did he pull a Jadakiss on you?
No, he gave me actually a complete shout out. So he's an interlude on there.
Okay. All right.
So like
I was just gonna say we got a few minutes before we gotta get out of here. But I was gonna ask you, is Jadakiss gonna be on anything?
Not on this album, but it's coming.
You got some dope. Didn't you mention one time about The Game being on the album?
Yeah, I actually reached out to The Game and he reached back out, but then like it just never happened. So like, and I'm not sure if that's, it is what it is. Yeah. I right now I'm at the point where it's like I'm still upcoming and I still got a lot of work to do and I'm still building. So I'm not making any type of expectation that someone who's a lot higher than me is gonna come down here and be like, oh, let me rap with you, right? So I thought that was gonna happen, but that never happened. As far as Jadakiss goes, it's coming.
You ever need a feature? I'm right here.
Hey, bro. Hold on. It was. Fuck. What was you had your poetry name? It started with a T, right?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, it was Thea.
Tay Diggs.
No, it wasn't Tay.
Wait, what are you thinking about?
No, I remember last interview I did. You said you did some spoken word poetry yourself.
Yeah.
And then you said you went by something.
Well, I usually go by It's Me Trell, but I'm wondering if you're thinking about some old internet stuff that I probably don't.
Kelby Productions?
No, maybe. If you watched the last one that we did, you said something about. Yeah, they called me the law. I can't remember. You said something now. Maybe you were joking. Yeah.
Before we get off, I want to talk about the submarine and balancing motherhood with dating. Was one of our topics.
Yeah, we don't have time for that anyway.
Well,
I'm gonna take a picture.
Check out his new album. Orange is the New Black.
Two things. Fairy Weight, the album, is out now. It's on all digital streaming platforms, however you listen to music. Then in August, I'm going to shoot for August 11th, which is right next month. I got a new album called No Love in the Hood.
That's the one that's supposed to be different from the rest.
Yes. Yeah. So the first Fairy Weight album is very like lyrical, miracle, spiritual, individual.
Yeah. You know who you remind me of though?
Who?
Not because whenever you have an album, I listen to the whole thing. That way I can give you my honest opinion. But you kind of remind me of MF Doom.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I've gotten. We don't have to go into it.
RZA.
I've gotten like Jizza, RZA. I've even gotten Eminem. I've gotten Nas.
And you've not got Eminem.
No, I have, man. I have.
Who said you sound like that?
Hey, look, there was this young lady I did an interview with. She was like, "You remind me of Nas and Eminem." I'm like, "All right."
Was it like a Make-A-Wish kid?
Look, any compliments I take, but it is what it is. But no Love in the Hood will be out next month. I'm shooting for August 11th if everything goes well. It's super different. I know we're running out of time, but it's more commercial, more vibes. I have a new single out right now called Rockin' With Me, featuring my boy Ri'Yadh Baby out in Oklahoma. Be Sincere, who's actually an artist out of Charlotte, originally from Queens. Ri'Yadh Baby did his thing on that, man. Like, y'all got to check him out.
I'm actually interested because I want to see you do something different. I want to see how how flexible you are, how much range.
Yeah, this album's gonna show that. Yeah, this album. Hey, yo, that's a pause. Yo, that's a pause.
One thing that I guess I never really realized, but you don't say your name often, and it is Analogical the Poet.
Yeah, it's Analogical the Poet.
It's not on the album.
No, it's not. It's
Is there a reason why?
Nah, it's just division, right? So I mean, a lot of times like Analogical the Poet will be on my singles. So if you go to if you stream, it's pretty much on almost every single, my logo, my tag. But with the albums, they just don't really tie into the vision of me putting my name on there. So I really want you guys to get like lost in the story of the album.
Hold on, because I've been wanting to ask this for about a year now. Where does the term ferry wait? Is because when I'm thinking about it, it's like your thoughts as you wait on the ferry.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay.
We
I
can
did.
edit that out.
But,
Yeah.
huh?
No, you got it right.
No,
So,
we both listened to it on the way home. We were
so
talking about
I'll
it.
answer that question first. So being from Staten, I lived all over, but Park Hill Project is where I started, and in Port Richmond is what I consider home. The ferry is an iconic thing for Staten Island, right?
Right.
Now, a lot of the other boroughs, they'll tell you like, yo, we ain't taking a boat to come over there, fuck Staten Island, right? And I get it. But for us to get in and out of the city, because we're separated from everybody else.
Right, they're supposed to be building a bridge out of trash. All
This
across.
guy still.
No, they are building
no.
a bridge from like Connecticut or something like that.
Look, you can still drive into the city. But the boat is more efficient because the boat is 30 minutes. So what happens is, like a bus system, it runs every 30 minutes. When it gets late, it runs an hour. You go to the terminal, you get on a boat, boom, you're in the city.
We've been
there a
on
toll?
it. We've been on the ferry.
No toll. No toll.
Wait a minute.
The ferry's free.
No, the toll to drive. To
Oh,
Staten.
driving, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, I know I paid a
there's
toll.
tolls everywhere, bro. Like, yeah, there's a different conversation.
Yeah, they told us we was walking.
Dude,
and they
toll
told
is
us.
fucking crazy. Easy Pass, all that shit's a scam. But what's it called? So you get 30 minutes there and you get 30 minutes back, right? So a lot of times when I used to go to the city, I used to buy weed from the city too. I used to do everything in the city because the city just got everything.
From
right?
New York.
From New York. Yeah, from Staten Island. So you end up going.
That's not New York, but okay.
So you end up. I'm entertaining. So a lot of times for me, getting into the city, what's it called? At that standpoint, you would hop on the ferry. So a lot of times, my thoughts, and I would write down when I'm on the ferry because I'd have my music, but I always write rhymes and do different like that. So essentially, when I came out with my first debut studio album, I was like, I want to do something for Staten, and I want to do something for like every Staten Islander can relate to. Being on the ferry, because like no one's really talking on the ferry. It's just like a really quiet ride. You got some crazy New Yorkers because it's New York, but like it's just more of like my thoughts while I'm waiting on the ferry. The album is just under an hour long, so it gives you enough time to listen to the half of it getting there and then half of it getting back. So
Oh, that's dope.
yeah. So that was kind of the goal, and making it so long as 16 hours.
I love
So
concepts like that.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
I like your it's professional, man. I love the album covers. I mean, whoever's doing your artwork, you name your albums like how MF Doom does. I mean, but it's
Yeah, so if you look at all
They're
my
all
singles,
different. There's-
so if you
there's
look at all
no-
my singles, like Barlord, Analogical is on the game up top. Then if you look at the Enter the Introvert, is right up top above the lighting. If you look at Better Off, which is another single, is on the bottom underneath where I'm sitting right there. And then my new single, Rock On Me, just came out in the middle of the street. So like I'll put it all over my singles, but when it comes down to my albums, I just really want that the consumer to see it and be like, all right, cool, who the fuck is this? And just get lost in the story. And No Love in the Hood, when it comes out, is it's a love story that when you listen to it from the surface level, it kind of tells a story of, you think I'm talking about a person and falling in and out in love with them, but when you listen to the deeper message, it's more of like the hood mentality that we're stuck to as Black Americans, African people that we listen to. Right. So when you listen to it, it kind of tells a story based off like, why are we in love with this mentality so much? So it really has a really deep meaning to it, but at the same time, it's one of those like, you know, when you give a kid vegetables, but you hide it like in the fucking like cake
Yeah,
or
they
something
call
like
it
that.
mixing the candy and
Right, you know what I'm
medicine.
saying?
Yeah,
That's
mixing
No Love in the
medicine
Hood.
and
It's like, it's gonna sound amazing It can be played in clubs. It can be played.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's gonna be like J. Cole's album. Like you're gonna listen to it. It's gonna be a banger. But then you listen to it the second time.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you ever listen to Hey Ya by Outkast, and you're like, yo, this shit, yeah. But if y'all listen to what the nigga's saying,
y'all don't listen to me. Y'all just want to dance.
Right. Because he, I think if I remember correctly, I think he's talking about a breakup in that song or something like that.
About relationships not.
Yeah, there's a deeper meaning to the song when you listen to it. But a lot of people get lost in vibes that they necessarily don't look at that next message. So at first I wanted to provide a vibe because like I wanted to challenge my pen and being in spaces that necessarily like my favorite rappers wouldn't be in, and try to get into those spaces. So I just hope everyone I know everyone's gonna fuck with it because it just sounds sonically better, and it's gonna be one of my favorites. So
that's good, man. And that's called that new album.
It's called No Love in the Hood, and it'll be out August 11th, maybe August 4th if things go well, but August 11th for sure.
All right, people. Analogical the Poet. You go check out.
Yeah, the single's called "Rockin' with Me."
Make that big.
Yeah,
that one's tough.
Yeah, the single's called "Rockin' with Me." I started writing it at the beginning of the year. It just had a lot of. It was a 6-minute beat. Is the beat maker? His name is Way Too Law. Shout out him. He's out in Germany. So got in contact with him, got the beat from him. Be Sincere is my man, 50 Grand. He's out here in Charlotte, dope singer, gospel awards. He records out of Atlanta, but he lives in Charlotte, originally from Queens. And then Ri'Yadh Baby is someone I met in online during the pandemic. We just had a lot of the common goals, and he's up and coming as well too. He just actually dropped the EP not too long ago. But when I tell you, like, he came with that energy that the track needed, he destroyed that shit. So that's my man 50 Grand as well too. So both of them really, I just had this vision, reach out to both of them, and we were able to kind of make this work on a timely manner as well too. So even when you hear Rockin' With Me, it's gonna sound completely different than anything on Fairway. It has a very, very upbeat vibe to it, but where I can still be me. And once you hear Rockin' With Me, and if you decide you like that track, you'll love the album.
Cool, man. All right. Analogical the Poet, go check out his album Fairway.
Yep.
And you said August 11th.
August 11th, maybe August 4th, but we're gonna shoot for August 11th.
All right,
you gonna let us play off with this track?
Yeah, let's we can bump it right now if y'all want to.
Yeah, from Shaolin land to Queens, from the Queen City to the VA, Louisiana to OKC, man. Be Sincere, Analogical, Ri'Yadh Baby, what up? Yeah, let's get it. You ain't gotta worry about a goddamn thing in these streets, rockin' with me. State to state, city to city, hood to hood, spin the whole globe rockin' with me. Promise you all good in my hood when you touch down, rockin' with me. All I know is hood spots, food spots, plug connects, more rockin' with me. Don't drop no addies, all locations, all where you be, rockin' with me. Cause ops gon' stick, wolves gon' eat, haters lose sleep, rockin' with me. I don't wanna tell you twice, you can get both, shopping spree, rockin' with me. And I know that you get it all of your own, not today, babe, rockin' with me.